absolutely love it. Okay, welcome to Try It Out Tuesday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. So this is our last live of today. If you're tuning in because, or catching up because you follow our Try It Out Tuesdays and you're like, I'll do Try It Out Tuesday, welcome. But this is actually the 5th live that Be Crafty has done today because it is a new product launch. So we've been doing lots. So this is the last one of the day. Not like ever, because that would be weird. So we'll still be here next Tuesday. Don't frettle. Okay. So because, you know, sometimes I just like to make sure I've given myself a lot to do, especially at the end of a very involved day. Oh, that's the wrong live. I have decided that to show you the new products as much. So today we've had, like I said, we've had five lives. So at the 12 o'clock launch here on YouTube, I went through all the new products. I went through all the papers. So if you are interested in Catalyst cards number 3 and 4, or these beautiful new clock theme stamps, art stamps by Be Crafty, you can go back to that one, which is 2 videos ahead of this one, and I go through them. Sam and Sally have also done lives today on the Be Crafty Facebook page, creating, and they have made an art journal page and a card. But in this live, just to make sure I've got plenty to do, I am going to be attempting to complete a card, a tag, and an ATC, because sometimes you've just got to make your life harder. And most importantly, obviously, achieving that with these fantastic products is not the challenge. The challenge for me is going to be trying to complete that in a timely fashion, which is not necessarily where my skill set lies. So what I've done is I've done a minute amount of foreshadowy type prep. Okay, and so we're going to layer those together as we go. Would anyone like me to have a quick run through the papers again? I'll tell you what, let's just do a quick run through the papers again. So I am going to be using Catalyst card set number 3. So today we have launched Catalyst card 3 and Catalyst cards 4. Okay, so the Catalyst cards 3 are made in a sort of mixed media, inky, stampy, stencily type style that I make here. These are actually made and then scanned in. They're not created digitally or anything like that. And they are available in A5, A6, and today for the first time, these 2 are now available in A4. It's the first time we've done Catalyst cards in A4, so if you do purchase them, give us some feedback, tell us what you think. Okay, so in these you get these beautiful sort of mixed media style cards. It's made from a high quality lightweight card. It's a lightweight card because what I want you to be able to do is layer it up on the front of cards and projects without worrying about there being too much weight. So it was picking a high quality card but that was really lightweight, but it is heavier than paper, so hence Catalyst cards. Okay, and then you have the Catalyst cards number 4, which are prints from a real 1920s record ledger. Okay, so they are fantastic for mixed media projects, going over MDF, creating your own journals, that sort of thing. Now, the reason these were actually created was because I bought this ledger. It was being thrown away and I bought it at a boot sale, and I actually bought it with the intention of art journaling in it, but I actually fell in love with the handwriting and the text so much that I just couldn't bear to paint over it, so I didn't, and that was about 6 years ago now. It was pre-pandemic, let me put it that way. Okay, so these are they. Now, for our ATC tag and card tonight I'm going to be using this one here from the A5 set. I will say I tend to use the A5s the most, but then again I haven't had the opportunity to use the A4s before, so Who knows? And I think it's because they're sort of that intermediate size. But I will say the A6s are really useful for covering MDF and that sort of thing. I use them a lot for that. So what I have done is I have cut that sheet into the 3 sizes. Okay. And what I've also done is prepped a black layer. Ready to go. Because I thought that is going to save us some time. Now, when I have cut these, okay, I have not necessarily worried about the orientation of the patterns within it. You know, if you look, the little hearts here are sideways and what have you, because I'm not too concerned about that. It's a mixed media style background, and to be honest, I was trying to cut it the most economical way so that I could use the least amount of sheets to make it, because, you know, that's what we do, isn't it? Alison, I love the A4 size. I'm using them in an A4 journal. Ooh. Oh, yes, I forgot you were doing the big journal, weren't you? Okay, so Sam has put a link to the entire collection there. There is an introductory offer for today. If you're catching up later, though, don't worry. If you, because there might not be the link to the full collection, but there is links in the description to all the products I'm using today. So you just need to follow that link and you'll be able to find it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because this is going to be crafting, not in a hurry, I'm not in a rush, but just, let's return to that word I used a minute ago. We're going to be economical with the time. We're going to get things done. Now, I very rarely craft in a hurry because, you know, I'm trying to get as much made in a short amount of time as possible. I craft in a hurry for a couple of reasons. One, I've forgotten I need to make something for someone. And that would be where this card comes in. Quick card. That would have been really good if I'd have stuck it on straight, but we're not going to worry about that too much. And then you've got your ATC. You know, say you've got a little bit of creative time and you're thinking, do you know what, if I don't make something today, I won't have made anything all week. And once you've not made something for a week, that week's easy to become 2. And the longer you leave it, the harder it is for your mojo, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to do our ATC. And then, of course, we have our tag. And this is just freehand chopped up. I didn't use the tag dies or anything like that. Just a freehand. Okay. So I hope you've all had a good day. Hasn't the weather been absolutely stunning? You know, it's still a bit chilly, but in fairness, see, as long as it's dry and bright, I'm actually okay with the chilliness. Outrageous prep. To be fair, though, in terms of, do you know what I mean? The cutting out things, that's what I spent all Sunday afternoon doing. But chopping these up, I've literally done between the 2 lives and I've had my dinner. So, you know, it honestly did not take long. Okay, so because what I did, if you're interested in the measurements, which I'm not sure many of you are, but just in case. So your ATC is 2.5 inches by 3. Did I say A2C? ATC is 3.5 by 2.5 inches. So I just added 1/4 of an inch and cut the black layer. The layer for this, I thought that would go on a 6x6 card. So I did a 5 by 5 inch square and then added on 1/2 inch. Did a 5.5 inch square in the black. And then that I just cut from what was left and cut the edges off and then did the black one around it. I don't know the measurements for that because I didn't measure it. I just cut it out of what I could fit from, yeah, a scrap bit from when I was doing this. So there we are. Okay, so shall we be really sort of funky and try and do all three at the same time? I feel like that's trying to overachieve, but I actually really love the idea. All right, so I've still got my matte medium from earlier. It is in the 6 o'clock live. We did make this art journal page, so if you want to catch up with that in real time, you just need to go one video back on the live section. But this also will be in the art journaling playlist. Okay, so let's boogie. All right, do you know what, I'm thinking I'm just going to start grabbing stuff. Okay, I'm going to use matte medium, and I'm just going to start grabbing my fussy cut bits and sticking them down, because that seems like a hoot and a half actually. There you go, so we've got like a little one there. That one's going to be too big. And I don't really want to cover the clock. So what we're going to do is we're going to go that way. And now obviously what we're going to do here could easily be an art journal page as well. Okay. So we're just going to work on all three, stick things down as we go, see how we feel. All right. Are we thinking pattern clock? Or are we thinking white clock? I think white clock. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade slightly. Let me just move my matte medium over here. This is the beauty, you know, of having this many demos in a day, because when you get to the last one, you're like, let's just use it all. I'm going to use 3D foam because we're going to start adding a little bit of dimension onto here. Don't worry about only got a few left. I've got loads. All right, and then I'm going to add a bit more colour into there. Hi, Danny. Hi to everyone. Anyone else I've missed? Sorry. And then I'm going to put that one in the centre of there. So let's move on. Put that one over the edge of our ATC there. With the semicircle from that half that we used in the scrapbook page earlier. So that is just half of one of the frames that goes around that particular clock from the Time is Free set. And then on this one, we'll go for, I should have used 3D foam, but that's all right. We're going to go for this lovely one. This one's really intricate with loads of layers, which makes it so much fun to use with your mixed media. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to use one of these Catalyst card frames from one of the other clocks. And we're going to use some skinny 3D foam Obviously, if you've got small foam pads, you could use those too. So cutting these out, I did just use a craft knife and scissors. So that is a way to mixy-matchy your clocks as well, because that is a frame from a different clock going over that inner. Okay. And then I'm going to chop this clock in half. Put half of that over that one. Excuse me. And then half up here. And then I'm going to take this. Now this is from the Wasted Time. So this is this border here. Like I say, you can see these stamped out in the 12 o'clock YouTube live I did today. You just need to skip back a couple of videos. I'm going to leave the cover pictures for today's launch as they are, so that you can see they are for this launch, okay? But I will put pictures of these on Instagram and stuff with the links of how to get to them. All right. So I'm going to hope that I'm capable of cutting this in a relatively straight line. And have a similar hope for my foam pads. I'm just going to cut that a little bit narrower. I'm going to say I would hope that it is becoming reasonably apparent to everyone that this is very much, aside from having the shapes all planned out, that was the beginning and end of the planned section. This is more, let's just do it and see what happens. All right. Okay, now this needs something else around here. All right, so what else have we got? No. That's going to have to come off because it's not stuck in the middle, and that's going to annoy me. Bear with, I'm going to have to get it a bit closer to me. Okay. Right. So I think now one of the best things I can do. See, I'm really looking forward to using this piece. I don't think we're quite there on this one. So obviously these are much bigger than the stamp. The stamp has been used to create the backing cards. This is the A5, so these are much bigger. Let's have a look. Would that be too much? Maybe. But I think I'm going to do it anyway. Excuse me. As I say, being too much is not necessarily the reason not to do something. Not for me, anyway. And by adding in these elements from a different catalyst card, you've really sort of, you can really sort of bring them into your own. Love it. Okay, so we'll do something similar for our ATCs, similar but different. We'll bring in some more catalyst clocks. So we're going to use the center of this one. And yes, I'm fully aware the 12 isn't at the top of that one. I've decided to just embrace the chaos. So we're going to put that one in there. And then I kind of like that orangey one because it's not the colours that are already on here. But I am going to go with that. Let's have a little look. See, this is the good thing as well. By having them ready, you can just sort of play with them until you've got a look that you're happy with. All right. So then I'm going to put this one up here for a tag. Loving them. Like, loving them. Okay. So this is where I'm going to go to my chopped out stash from my catalyst cards again, and I'm going to add in some of these lovely little hearts. And I'll tell you for why. I would have gone on with some cogs, and I actually should have stamped some cogs onto the background a bit. But I used all my already cut out cogs earlier, and I didn't stamp on the backing anyway. So let's just add in some of these hearts, because we have those ready to go. You know. And if that's not a good reason, I really don't know what one would be. Oh no, that needs a stronger colour, that side. Right, so we'll put that one there. And as luck would have it, obviously, on our 3 new stamp sets, we have 3 different time-related sentiments. So we can stamp all of them out, and we can have a different one on each project. Isn't that lucky? And I think maybe one more on here. Now, obviously the beauty of these hearts as well, obviously, if you've got the different sizes of catalyst cards, you can cut out all those sizes. Now, bearing in mind as well, I did draw all these on the originals, and I've still cut them out because sometimes it's just easier, because if you've got the catalyst card ready, you know the colours are going to be right. You don't have to worry about if it goes squiffy or things like that. You know it's going to be ready to go. So before we stamp out our sentiments, I'm going to bring in my blank card, All right. And I'm going to use 3D foam on the back of here. Tonight's live was also a way of making sure that today I had done an art journal page, a card, an ATC and a tag. You know. Honestly, I could go again tomorrow and say, right, tomorrow we're just using the ledger pages. I'm not gonna. I have things to, I can't tomorrow. Sam and I run a warm hub on a Wednesday morning. Okay, so we're going to lift that up. I'll place it right about there. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, so sentiments. First of all, get one of my offcuts of white. I don't think I'll be able to fit all three of them on here, but that's absolutely fine. Right, so I'm going to do first the 2 sentiments from The Time Is Free. The reason for that is I already have one of them on my Super Skinny Slim. So that just seems to make sense. You know. So let's ink up with our VersaFine. I'm going to stamp and lift. Okay. Nobody panic. I wasn't like cleaning it. I was just wiping it off to try and restrict thumbprints. But look how that worked out for me. All right. So then we'll do The Time Is Free, but at the same time, priceless. And then Time Is Free, but at the same time priceless. And then see if we're going to get all 3 on, no problem at all. And then for our third one, we're going to go onto here. The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Yes, I do go quiet when I'm stamping sentiments. And I am one of those people that turns down the radio when I'm looking for a car parking space. But I will say this, I always reverse in. It's just one of those things, isn't it? Why do you do? Right. So from here, I'm going to, I think I will do a sneaky little, so I've just realised I've closed my journal from earlier. I'm not sure it's dry. A little go over with some fine clear embossing powder. And yes, that is all I have. So that's going to need replaced very soon. To be fair, I do use it a lot. Like, a lot. I probably waste a lot as well. I'm not saying I don't. Alright. Let's lift that up. Let's flick off the excess. Because, to be fair, when I'm heat embossing in clear on my VersaFine like this, 98 times out of 100, which is a lot percentage wise. It literally is just to make sure the ink's dry and I'm not going to smudge it. Because I am a smudge risk. What can I say? Okie dokie. So, where's my scissors? Let's chop them up. And then decide what we're going to do with them. Right, so this is a good lesson for me. In that the smallest sentiment doesn't necessarily always go on the smallest project. Okay? Because in terms, obviously, this is quite a small sentiment, but I think it will go best on this one because it's got that lovely big clock. Okay? And we want that to sort of remain the feature. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to give it a really sort of soft edge, which is going to shock Sam because I bet you money she thought I was going to ticker tape it. Instead, I'm going to sort of just give it a bubbly edge. So, and obviously the trick with that is you don't move your scissors, you move what you're cutting. Beautiful. Okay. Now this one, I'm fully aware I did ticker tape earlier, so I could do that again, but I'm not gonna. I am going to give that another straight edge there. Now, if you are very particular, and obviously you want your edges poker straight, I would strongly suggest using a paper trimmer. It's not something that gives me massive amounts of concern. But when it's your project, you can do it however you see fit. See? I'm made for that gap. Alright? I just think with this one, you see, those rounded edges go with the rounded there, and it's just all very, for me, like I say, yours can be however you like. Now this little chap, time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. So I'm just working out how many pieces. I'm going to do time you enjoy wasting as one. And then I'm going to change the is not wasted time into 2. Okay. And again, I'm going to go with 3D foam on this one that I'm going to cut into narrow pieces. I'm going to do time you enjoy wasting. That's going to need some more foam on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift up. I've got that much adhesive on my fingers. I should have put some either end. I knew that. I was just trying to be sly. There we go. Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Okay, and then we use this nice one. Time can be used and spent, not owned or kept. On there. And then we've got time is free. But at the same time, priceless. Okay. I'm going to do a little zoom in. And that's our 3. Our card, do it that way, tag, and ATC. Using all the new products. They're cool, aren't they? I'm ridiculously pleased. I actually really, really like them. And because of the 3D foam and layers, they're actually really, really cool in person because you've got all that dimension going there as well. So, if you liked any of the products that we used, please head on over to the Be Crafty website and get yourself some. If you're going to use them and make things with them, please show us. We would absolutely love to see. Please like and subscribe to whenever you see Be Crafty Stamps on anything really, and interact with it. Comment if you can. That would be absolutely fantastic. I really hope you've enjoyed today. We've done loads of demos, loads of, I hope, interesting, and gone through the products accurately in a way that you found helpful. But as usual, if there's anything on the Be Crafty website you would like to see in a bit more detail, maybe you'd like to see me show you in more detail on something like a Try It Out Tuesday, or even just on any sort of video, please let us know and we can absolutely do that for you. So thanks again everyone for an absolutely great day. If you have orders today, we will get those products out to you ASAP. And like I say, once you start making, make sure you tag at Be Crafty Stamps on whatever platform you're sharing. All right then, guys. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Bye.